Greetings and welcome once again to a new Anno 1800 Let's Play to Trade Republic, as I like to call it, a new challenge mode run that I'm really interested about. Some of you gave me the idea for this in the comments and I was looking it up and it looks fantastic. Or the idea is fantastic. The idea is to play as a pacifist. Well, not really as a pacifist. We're not allowed to build military ships in this playthrough. But we're allowed to use propaganda and we're allowed to use our financial power to take shares, invest into opponents, influence them, and also to use traders and their respective trade prices and try to exploit that as much as possible. So this means no military combat in this one, except of course for defensive structures like flamethrowers, for example. That's entirely allowed. But other than that, we're using our power, our financial power to exploit, to influence opponents, to also wage sabotage. And on top of that, I'm also having a lot of new mods that allow us to build a beautiful big industrial city. So that would be my goal here, having a bit of an industrial look. I'm going with a London theme. There is a perfect mod for this that builds on Jacob's industrial city mod. So it's a skin on a skin that is a skin. So it's a 3-layer mod, but it's gonna be amazing because it turns my city into kind of like a London 19th century skyscraper town. I'm going to love this one. You're going to love this one. And on top of that, we have new monuments, new buildings that accompany all of that, new industry complexes, and stuff like that. On top of that, for the new world, I've also prepared something that is the terraced housing from Jacob once again, and also Mayan treasures that allows us to finally also have ancient new world artifacts that we can excavate, having its own storyline and its own monument for this. So I'm trying to keep things fresh a bit with this. And yeah, before we continue, we're going to have a quick look at the settings. Thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you enjoy my content in general, don't forget to check out my Patreon supporter page if you want to also support me there. Now onwards to the difficulty settings real quick. The random seed is 1782 if you want to play along. We're playing on a large world size. We're playing this time with mainly medium islands, not small, but also not large. The island difficulty is normal and the fertility mineral deposits are plenty because of course we want to build a trade center, so I want to have a lot of materials available. For the AR opponents, I'm going with something completely new. I heard your criticism that we're playing too often with the Admiral or with Miss Hunt. This time we're playing with 3 that I've never used before. That is Arthur Gasparov, Beryl O'Mara, and Karl Leonard von Malchen. All 3 of them are boosted by the combat overhaul mod, so we are now allowed to build ships ourselves, but I still want to have strong opponents, and all 3 of them have different strengths, right? Karl is a very capitalist player, so he's also trying to build up a fortune and investing into us, and also tries to sabotage us with that. Beryl and Arthur are really unknown for me, so Arthur is very powerful with ships as far as I know, so we're just going to see how this plays out. They're not 2-star opponents though, right? So we're still using the combat overhaul mod here to boost AI opponents. All traders are available, the same goes to the pirates. Average, once again, it's not on hard mode for the pirates because the combat overhaul mod doesn't allow hard mode. So it's average, they're still boosted to be extremely hard pirates. For my customization, for my features, we're using low income, inactive upkeep. We have to pay a fee if we want to destroy buildings. We also have to pay money if we want to relocate buildings. We have hard city incidents, we have rare quest frequency, we have a high skyscraper upkeep, and we have a very low influence count. So we need to really think about hard when we want to use propaganda or when we want to use our influence into defense purposes, for example. Last but not least, my starting conditions are really just a harbor on any random island on the map that we're playing with a very low starting capital. Map, of course, is not revealed, and we also have no ships. These are the settings. This is going to be fun, I hope. We're still allowed to build trade ships, by the way, so no warships, but trade ships are allowed. Yeah, let's jump into it. Alright, this is it, the beginning of something new, a new island popping up in front of us, a beautiful one. And what I can notice right away on this island here, that we haven't been on an island like this ever before. This should be interesting for sure. Let's just really quickly pause the game as much as possible and have a quick look on our island. This is always so exciting. The beginning of a new city, the beginning of something grand. Well, we'll just see where it's going, right? No idea at this point. And well, we can only make the best out of it. And boy, this island does not disappoint at all. We got 2 rivers on this island. One is going down here, as we can see. The other one is going down here. right, leading into a beautiful smaller waterfall over there. And that's just perfect, right? This I can see a beautiful city right in here popping up with a little monument row as well, where the river goes around it. Beautiful, lots of bridges, lots of little canals we can build out of that. We have oil springs down here for electricity, 5. The potential is there to electrify probably, yeah, 2/3 of the island with this here. We also have 3 clay deposits, no coal deposit. That's not ideal. 3 zinc deposits is also really crappy. So, you know, 2 and 1 copper would be fine, but 3 zinc is basically overkill. We have potato, grain on it as expected for Starter Island, calamari, olive, hemp, nitro, grape, and herb fertility on top of that as well. So nice beginning here. We will need to build a bridge at some point. We do have the potential here of having an industry zone here, probably one here by that beach, with the core city in the center around the river. So that's basically the outline that we have. Do we need to move the trade post? I don't think so. We have some good beaches, but this one is the biggest one. It's also looking towards, okay, it's looking towards the east. That's not ideal, but it should be fine when it comes to that. We can freely move it around. It will cost me though. So I'm gonna go around with that careful, because of course we want to get the ships going ASAP, and for that I'm going to need some money left. Let's go ahead and start building this city right away. I would like to this time around start really with a road here. So we have a tiny road connection, but that warehouse is going to be replaced with big docklands at some point. So in that case, I'm going to orientate my main road with the potential docklands that we have then here, right? So let's just have one road for now that at some point goes then into something bigger. This might be also a smaller industry zone. Yeah, I like the idea of that, to have something here. And then we have a city that spans over into this direction, primarily then into this direction. So let's just see, we have the clay pit here with the main road going up, and down here we got the oil deposit, where I also want to make sure that we have a train track then going down already. That's this one. There's the main road connecting here with the rail tracks. This is going to be the main road leading into our first city district then as well. There would be then the bridge here, but as we can see, this will cost me 3,000 credits, so I'm not going to do this. We're rather going to stick around somewhere here before I come to that expansion. And over here we're going towards that beach area with our road. In here with our first lumberjack hut industry now. This is potentially a big electrified industrial zone that I'm planning here. So we can make it so that we have for now the lumber industry, and later on we're pushing then heavy industry into this zone here, right? Let's start with 2 warehouses, because of course, as always, we want to start also with 4 sawmills for starters that are going to produce us the logs. So 2 here and 2 here, just along this road. This is really just temporary, right? This is not a permanent camp. This is the beginning of our logging industry, and it's a cheap one anyway, so we can quickly rebuild this somewhere else. Some of these here will need some replanting.
We need more farm hands.
Yep, so they need to plant now. This is going to take some time. Outside of that, these can start right away if they had workforce, which we don't have right now. So we continue onwards with our city construction. There is going to be a main road here, as always, and around that main road we are going to build our first district. And we'll just see where that leads us then here. Let's have it somewhere here, right? So we want to have a good coverage of this whole area here. It's a bit stretched. Also, there's an oil district right next to it, so it's gonna be an outskirt district, you might call it. It's not gonna be the high density central zone, more or less, that we have. But this will probably then stay at, yeah, terraced workers, right, that we can have. So this is something I can see here. Let's have this one a full block indeed, with a little court. There you go, right? So this goes over then. And then you have a road here. Why not? And then some more density blocks here, perhaps, leading into this zone. I really should not spend so much money on my roads. So we're gonna build the warehouse right, the marketplace right away, and the first people that are now moving into the city. As always, a moment to remember when you start a new city. It's called Little Wallet right now. That's not a proper name though. And since we are going to make a nice industrial city with the London suburb mod. We're gonna call it New London. I hope it's not a mistake, but we'll just see. New London thus has been born, and this is the beginning of it. Oh, very nice. With our first farmers moving in, we also get the first workforce, and New London finally has a logging industry that is worth mentioning. We're also gonna boost the productivity by 50%. These people have to work overtime, but that's what you need to do if you want to make your city great. You need to make sacrifices. We need logs, and we need them ASAP. And I don't care about the unhappiness for now, we're just gonna live with it as long as possible. Balance-wise, we are soon dropping below 20,000. We have a negative balance of 120 right now, so that's something we need to keep in mind. Finally, also, the logs are coming in. The first productions are finished, and we're getting some timber that we can now use to immediately continue with the building of more houses. As our day is coming to an end, we're also going to get a beautiful dusk right over there in the foggy area. I wonder where my opponents are since we're playing on the archipelago. They should be close by, and I can see that we have big islands surrounding us. Right, more timber, more expansion. Even through the night we're gonna build houses today. These people have no idea that at some point we're gonna be the greatest trade republic in the world. Since one warehouse is quite overwhelmed, 2 ramps are being used and we need lots more. I'm gonna use another 10 tons of my timber to build a second warehouse. Also, we have unlocked now our fishery, so we can also start with the first ones here, as my demand is growing for food. Let's just see where we should have them. I'm thinking about something like that, because with this we can squeeze in quite a few of them. Right here, building a quay all the way to my trade post. And the fishermen are going out, catching some fish, hopefully delicious. And with building through the whole night, as the next day is dawning already, we continue with the expansion of the next houses and our very first pub, increasing the happiness of my population right away. I heard there's a fire, and yes indeed, even with farmers we are already having our first fire. That is a first, I think. Let's build us a fire station right away. For now though, we're only having half the timber production. Next in line for the city is work cloth and schnapps. 2 more additional needs. Let's go ahead. As I said, I'm not going to build a bridge. The bridge is too expensive for now. We need to start small. So I'm going to have my schnapps distillery and my potato farms over here just along this road. And I would also like to start with another warehouse and 2 framework knitters with 2 sheep farms right here by the river. It's not too far away from the city. Commuting times are small and we are saving a bridge with that. The production starting now, gonna take some time as our very first potatoes are being grown over here and harvested then hopefully. Okay, we have lots of workforce. I don't mind that one bit. We continue. We have the pub. I would like to have a school somewhere over here. And I'm also planning with a church over here at some point, right? So I'm gonna make some room here right away for these. Just here by the marketplace as well, I would like to have a smaller plaza area. So in this case, that's kind of like my service area that we have for now.
Fire has been vanquished.
And that means I can just simply go ahead and continue with a bunch more of my districts. Another one over here. Yeah, let's make a courtyard here again, just along the tracks, then don't forget that. We are also getting our first quest.
Please, couldn't muck me out, could
Ounce.
ya? I've something to put before a
Holding
toast
around
person.
stray dogs. We need to find them. Let's have a look. There they are, the gang. Bringing terror to New London already.
Keen as a
Collect them and get a
three-legged
boson out of that. That's a nice selling price. 6,000 we can get out of this item a bit later.
Fresh as
At this point, the
daisy
schnapps
here.
is coming in, and also the work cloth. The firefighters did an amazing job, and the fire is already gone again. Okay, next in line, we should be, on this very second day already, be able to upgrade my population soon. Let's also quickly check our consumption rates. It's not looking too good, so we actually will need to push another field. The same goes with my sheep farm. And what we can also still do here is then increasing our productivity a bit. The same goes with the fishery. We still have 1 ton of surplus. That is fine for now, with 2 fisheries already working, by the way. Absolutely doesn't take long, and we can already upgrade our first people.
You reached a new milestone.
To tier 2, workers, age of industrialization. In this age, we're gonna stick around for quite some time. And immediately, we have a fire. That was quick. Alright, well, it's a fire station.
You reached a new milestone.
I love how immediately it actually caught fire. That's just incredible. Alright, we are also having a bit of a good balance with that, and we're reaching 1,000 people finally with pushing our people to workers.
That's all we ask.
I would also like to push a few more workers while we can, before we work on new expansions. So New London is coming along. We have new needs: bread, sausage, soap, the school, also a church, and beer. All of this will require a new construction material, bricks. Let's work on that. Let's have our first clay pit and our second clay pit. Let's actually use this clay pit here right away. Gonna need a warehouse for that. I would save money though, so I'm gonna have one warehouse here, where we do have our basic industry set up. So the clay pit, that is consuming now some workers already.
For the boss.
And then we're also going in with 2 brickworks. Nothing more, because that's just already quite expensive, and we're dropping soon below 10,000, and we do need 10,000 for a shipyard. So I need to be very careful how far I push it. Newspaper edition. As promised, we're going with propaganda again. Propaganda is, of course, a 2-sided coin. First of all, you can get some good bonuses out of this. The other one, though, is that we are increasing our riot chance with that, especially on this difficulty. So we need to be careful how much newspaper we use. This is good. 50% riot reduction. Happiness. The new company takes root. New London has been settled by Nate. And also spend.
Anything else?
As the second day is coming to an end, that city is going places. We are growing quickly. Also brightly illuminated on this second night. Also, those clay workers and brick workers will have a hard time at the beginning, as we are going to push them by another 50%. So yeah, you'll have the occasional night shifts. The rain helped a bit, dousing more flames. However, the fire is still spreading, as most of my houses are wooden right now. That's why we're mobilizing our fire workers now to push out a second firefighter. And we can do this every couple of minutes, right? And with that, we're pushing out 2, and this should really get rid of the flames, hopefully, before more burns down. Thanks to the night shift, we also have more bricks coming in than ever, so we're closing in on 10 tons of bricks. There it is, and this warrants now our sailmaker, the next step towards ship production. Let's go ahead and get me the sailmaker somewhere here in this corner. I would like to have them where we can easily access them, so it's probably right here, just beside my warehouse. This one gets now the wool. However, we have 3 framework knitters and 4 sheep farms. So for now, this should work out as long as we have a surplus of work clothes. But I will probably need to push productivity by 25%. So not a full night shift for these people, but still something to work with. There you go. 12,000. We are having a good balance right now of 300 coin. So we can and will build our shipyard really soon now. The fire is gone, as a new day is dawning in Sleepy Hollow. And as the sun is going up on day 3, the fire is finally gone. And we can rebuild what's been destroyed.
Your city has grown more beautiful.
and more people are upgrading to the next tier. With that out of the way, we have now everything ready for our first shipyard. It's gonna take some more time, of course, to stock up on 25 tons of bricks, but we can already go ahead and start building it. And I would like to have it then somewhere here. There's potentially then also my oil harbor going to be in this area, so this looks fine. And I'm just gonna make me a nice road here as well. So now we just need to wait. This will cost me 10,000 credits and 25 tons of bricks. We can use the time to finish another quest. Old Herald has been gone. We need to shut him up. Old Herald, he is doing bad things at the pub when he's drunken. And now he's protesting and promotes striking. This is not allowed. Take him out again. We get a megaphone out of this quest for another 6,000. We could also use this on the defense turrets. Nice. It is day 3 for New London, and on this remarkable day, we're finally getting our first shipyard on the way. And we also have enough sails and timber in to also build me our first schooner. While the ship is being built, we can now finally also start on our first bridge. We do have some coin left. It's not a lot, but it's what it is. And with that, I would like to move over now. Starting with, yeah, this bridge over here right away. 3,000 credits we have to pay for it. And there you go. With that, we have spent the money, going down to 4,000 now. Let's just see where we want to have the road then. The road continues all the way up here. So basically around the river here, we continue with this one, right? Doesn't need to be the main road, but it's a start. We also should be careful with how much money we spend on roads. It's expensive. There's going to be another clay pit over there. And yeah, this is then entering a new industry zone, potentially, that we can have in the city, together with this area here, right? So a few of them we're going to use for our own interests now, right away. And that is the next products that we already need for the workers. One of them is the sausage. And for that we need pig farms. We're gonna need a lot of pig farms. I'm not entirely sure yet that we are using all the pig farms on New London, because they reduce your attractiveness quite a bit. So we'll just see how we use them. For now, let's start with a warehouse here. We have discovered an island. Oh, my ship has been finished. There you go. That message was after the island discovery. We got the argument out, my very first schooner on this fine day. And this schooner, yeah, we're going to use it now for exploration. Let's start with the closest islands that we have. So basically this whole area here, I would like to scout. As always, I'm going to make sure that we're not getting into a potential pirate bit. This looks like a pirate, doesn't it? No, it's not the pirate. Alright, because I don't want to discover the pirate too early. She's very aggressive. And I want to stay neutral to her as long as possible. So we're just pushing over here now, trying to get as many islands as possible. Alright, we continue with my pig farms though. So that's over here. That's my next project that I have now. Oh, and we are once again interrupted because we found Eli Leagueworth. And he's now over here on his prison island. That's very close to us. That's a very good distance for potential first trade. A lucrative trade, as we're playing as a trade republic. We want to make lucrative deals. We want to get profitable and make lots of money. And Eli could help us on this one. Potentially a very, very good trading partner. More islands pop up. We're going to analyze them at some point later. Right now, I really just want to find the traders. We also should find the other AI opponents, of course. Then just see how far we get. What we should be doing also is, if I have the money, we could upgrade our trading post here to a medium trading harbor right away. This doubles my island storage, basically. It's a very sensible thing to do. However, it cost me 2,500 credits. Since we have some items ready for sale, I'm going to do this. Let's upgrade. New London gets a new trading harbor. I can also build another schooner, and I should do this right away as well. Okay, more islands appear. This one we cannot settle on. This one is one. Perfect. There's another island over there. And what I noticed right away is these islands look so different to what I'm used to. Some of them, right? This one here especially. Look at that. It looks like a terrace going up here. Very interesting island. Because I've never played with the medium preset island. so far, and this is just very interesting because these are layouts that I haven't seen yet. We got coal here 3 times. That would be very nice potentially to have for New London. And we got the copper here together with limestone. This is probably my next island. I can already see that. Also, we got hops here and fur. And it's big enough to support both of these productions. That looks just very juicy.
New orders.
Another island over here with 4 coal deposits. Also hops and fur once again. Another very good island for us to settle next. And a pretty, holy cow, a pretty massive one over here at the edge, at the eastern end of the map, with lots of resources and buildable space. Also beautiful river once again. This would have been a very nice main capital city too. But I'm happy with what we got so far. And in fact, this is bigger, right?
Tomorrow.
And didn't take long for us to find Carl Leonard from Malking,
We assist however we may.
as he pops up now from the mists right over here in beautiful green color. Gonna be interesting how this opponent plays out for us. Our second schooner comes out,
Stations.
and with that we continue our exploration efforts down to the south now, because there's also lots of stuff that we can explore.
Adjust the sail.
Another bigger island right next to us, and also this one could potentially be a trader. We'll just see.
On our
Going
way.
over here now, while we continue also up here in the north now with my second schooner. Of course, that's still not the end of it. We're gonna build a third schooner once we get 1 more ton of sail, which we have now. So let's go ahead and build me schooner number 3. Also, let's finally use the moment that we have to get going with some pig farms now. And we're gonna have a whole pig industry up here, basically. Yeah, potentially with the silo as well, right? So if I build one of them,
Nice day
we
for
can
it.
put the silo then in right here, for example. And then we have our pigsties. What we just see right away is that Carl really likes it that we have overwork, so he's happy with us exploiting our workers to the maximum. Yeah, there are my pig farms now, right? So we're gonna have another
Ship
warehouse
constructed.
probably a bit closer to this. Also, my next schooner comes out, by the way, so I'm gonna use this right away to sell the items that we got out of our quest so far. And we should be able to sell them at Eli's.
Steersman.
Let's sail to his prison island to get going with that. A bit further down here. And my schooner up in the north.
The Emporium Exotique looks
Oh, we found
forward to
Madame
your
Kahina,
patronage.
the next
If
trader
you
for
can
us.
afford it.
Very important for anything museum, botanical wise.
Stations.
Also has interesting quests down the road.
I
Right
can
now,
tell you're
she's not
searching for
trading
something.
with us at all, except for some very expensive, useless items
Schooner
that we don't
reporting.
need.
Things around
The
here
next
in
AI
mean
opponent,
little
Beryl,
ways.
is introducing herself right over here.
Want to go places, do you?
Also can't wait to see how she turns out
Adjust the sail.
as we move now over there. They have advanced quite a bit already, right? Full worker island I can see. Also the steelworks industry is up and running. We're still saving a bit of money before we can afford that. Also, I would like to start now down here, my next industry zone. So we're moving our road all the way up here, right? This is gonna be the main road then most likely. That goes then into an industry zone that we can use here. Don't forget, we will also need a bit of space here for a rail track at some point. That's definitely something we need to consider as well. Let's start here, basically, with our first industrial buildings. And yeah, it's gonna be, of course, the slaughterhouses. Let's just see how we can squeeze them in here nicely. A block of 4 should do wonders for the beginning. We can also have then our rendering works here set up. But for this, I would like to have another trading post again right away. Also, we should really have a fire station. Gonna have this one up here just for that. Let's build this one. Let's build the first 2 slaughterhouses. And let's also build the first 2 pig farms over here. Together with a warehouse a bit closer. Shouldn't be that far away from it, right? And with that, we have a basic sausage production up. This is what my workers especially will like a lot. Next in line though, I really should be starting also with my steel beam production, and we need more workforce. So let's go ahead and keep expanding the city with a bunch of more blocks over here. Also, I would like to build another schooner. 2 more sail. By the way, my schooner has arrived here, so we can start selling now our items. 12,000. Thank you very much for this. Can we sell the schooner at Eli? No, we can't. After all these years,
Coordinates
I still don't know
plotted.
this.
Very well.
We need to find Archie for that. And we have found Archie. There he is.
I present my humble duty to you.
Down
and am
here in the
confident
south.
you'll
Let's get him
transcend
down.
your
Let's get my
present
ships down.
circumstance.
And this is probably my first lucrative trading deal that we have. Selling schooners. That we should be exploiting as much as possible. For this, we need to have a strong timber economy. We also need to have a strong
It's a surprise
sail
inspection.
economy. So I'm gonna build me another sail maker now.
Kasparov. One glance of my
Kasparov
city
Archer,
states
hello
will
there.
tell you all you
The
need
next
to know.
opponent. We're doing this all in the night. Because every second really counts. Let's build the next sheep farm. Delivering the wool to the sail maker. And then to my warehouse. Doubling our sail production is important to push out more schooners. There he is in a beautiful purple color. We got very friendly colors this time around, right? Purple, pink, and green. And we are in a bourgeois red. Loving that. Or burgundy red,
copy?
you might call it. Newspaper edition. Oh, look at that. Financial powerhouse. A positive credit balance hastens the era of untold prosperity in New London. Also, we have built a shipyard. And benevolent leader succeeds again with... Okay, compassion. I would still like to go with 1 propaganda at least. That gives
should
me
draw attention
a
away from you.
5% income bonus, because income is important right now. Next, it's time to double our brick production. It's still a bit too slow for my taste, so we're going to use the next clay deposit that we have over here.
Ship
With
construction.
a warehouse close by. And then the brickworks. Also, that logging industry, we can now finally move. So I'm just going to put the whole thing onto the other side now of the whole thing. It doesn't cost me anything because it's a very cheap industry. And with that, we can now use our latest... Oh, wait a second. Let's have it then. Yeah, let's have it here. Just like that. Poof. And with that, we have this whole space available now to start my heavy industry. We want to do this because we're going to need now a lot of these. Let's make sure that we have the triple road then here secured, right? So I'm going to make a warehouse here and here together with a fire station again. This is all going to be quite costly as always. Let's have this one here. So we have a double road. We have a triple road going in here. And we're going to have our warehouses set up here. And around that, we can have then all the juicy furnaces and stuff like that. I want to have 1 power plant here set up, most likely. And then we also will need to work with 1 trade union, probably 2 trade unions. So let's have 1 now. Let's have it here. This looks like a good location. And the other one over there. They can't overlap, so it's important that we have them on the edges of each. Could also have this one a bit further down here. It's a lot of mountain though. Let's make it a bit further down here. Looks better. We can also move this one now a bit further over here. This looks a bit better. With that, we have the space for it. Let's not forget that we probably potentially also want to have a harbor there that we will need. Very good. With that, we can set up our furnaces now. That's going to be the dirty industry. So I'm going to have them set up right over here. In blocks of 4, most likely. Don't forget, we're going to electrify them at some point. So they're going to really push out the stuff. Just see. All the way here. And on the other side, or let's actually have it here for now. We have the steelworks. Right.
A competitor raised a
Let's
settlement.
make it like this. There you go. Oh, already settling. Interesting. That was fast. Let's do the same thing. We have 4 schooners piling up at
Schooner
Archie. So
reporting.
our new
Don't
business
tell me
model
I've
takes
missed
shape.
another.
Selling schooners for money.
I
That's
present my
pretty profitable. 2,500 each. Also, I would like to purchase some steel beams from him right away with the money we have. Together with some bricks. Let's
all
get
in
this
Her
over
Majesty's name.
to
Steersman.
New London again. And the other schooner we can
Don't
sell
tell me I've
for
missed
another 2,500. So we are at 21,000 again. Very good. Our first lucrative deals. And by the way, let's produce more schooners whenever we can. Alright, so this is coming along. This is very important because we do need the steel beams now rolling in. For this, we should also start exploiting the first iron deposit. Right down here we have one. Would like to use me that. There you go. Iron mine number 1. Together with, yeah, unfortunately right now we'll have to work with charcoal kilns. I hate them. They're taking up a lot of space. They're dirty.
A competitor raised a settlement.
Not very productive overall. Oh, look at that. Also, Archer cell right here makes sense for him because it's on its way to the south for the new world, right? It's the next island and it's a very good island, honestly, right? Lots of space as well and strategically also important. Honestly, I have no idea right now how aggressive these opponents will be. With the Combat Overhaul mod, I've never played them, so that's going to be a bit of a room for uncertainty here. I still would like to settle on my next island though. Potentially to the south, right? That's just important. Strategically, this one here is also nice. When I go with practical sense, this one is probably my best bet, of course. It's just amazing. It might even be my second or my most important capital city at some point, if we can grab it. It's though on the opposite side of where we need to go, right? So, yeah, every advantage has a downside. Let's take the timber. Where should we settle? That's the question right now with my schooner. You know what? Let's postpone that decision real quick by building us also my first furnaces over here with the fireworks. All very expensive as always, and that's working with a ratio of, it was 1-to-1, right? Yes, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Every charcoal kiln can have 1 furnace, and every furnace potentially can have 1.5 steelworks. Let's build the first steelworks over here. And with that, we're also starting now the third construction material, steel beams. Gonna be an expensive one, that is. I would like to leave a bit of room here for a wall at some point, right? Because, of course, the city will grow over there at some point. Regarding city development, we continue with probably then a major road going up here with a bridge then to the other side. I'm not building the bridge yet though, right? But it's just for my own structuring. So that means we can have another marketplace and should have another marketplace somewhere over here then at some point. It's not ideal and we're not going to need it forever. But for now it is, so that we can continue with another city expansion. And we do have some interesting blocks here already that I would like to use, like this one. I like it a lot, so let's gonna have it over there together with these blocks here on the other side once again. There is room for a pub just behind my marketplace. And by the way, New London has also reached over 2,000 people now. Let's just check out our statistics. I will need to reinforce schnapps, workcloth, fish and also sausage, the whole package, as my balance is dwindling. Let's go ahead and have me another fishery here and here. Should be able to build both of them. There you go. Doubling my fish output. I will also need to build me another sheep farm.
I'll do.
Don't forget it's boosted, right? And we can have another full row of framework knitters here. That I would like to have as well. Let's build one for now. And let's finally also push the sheep farms now to 50. As it should. And for my schnapps, I'm gonna have... yeah, we can have now another one here too. Right? That's gonna be for this whole area. Then I can have another distillery here as well. And probably gonna have my schnapps also set up on the other side. Over here along the main road then. Okay, so that's the production side. Sausage, third pig farm, third slaughterhouse. Closing in now, and I think we might... There it is, we're negative again. Yeah, can't be avoided at all times. But, of course, we have a source of income. That's the ship selling. Another schooner, 2,500. And we're building another one, already close to completion, and I can queue in 2 more. Very nice. Alright, I also can't avoid it. I'm gonna settle up here. It's strategically not the smartest move, right? Because Carl, he could now settle on this island and be right at my doorstep, right? Front here. There it is. These two islands are also really important for us strategically, so I need to secure them if I want to have a safe passage to the new world. But this is just too good. This is just, it's the perfect island, right? It's lots of space. It has the hops and the fur. We're gonna need both of that. It has grain. We're gonna need lots of grain. And it's massive, right? So it's starting as a supplier island now for New London. I can't promise that we're not just gonna make this our capital. It's just looking so juicy. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I really would like to know your opinion about this. What we should be doing with this island. For now, I'm starting up once again my own timber production. It's gonna be a simple one, that is, with only 2 sawmills. Oh, and Carl has a quest for us, a destruction quest. Sorry, Carl, I'm not allowed to build military ships. He's not gonna like that. But that's what it is. Let's build them. And with that, let's also get started here with our first block of houses. Also gonna need me a fishery here.
Ready
By the
for
way, that schooner,
assignment?
Early Bird it's called. Let's also sell this one, as we really are negative. Let's go ahead. That's a huge district here. It's such a juicy island. I'm really, really optimistic about this island. It could also be our safe haven in case my main island gets lost, right? At some point that we retreat to. I have no idea. It's just, it can only have positive things when we take this one into account here. Let's have a smaller main road here, and then I'm gonna build me some more blocks of housing again. Can we go with... Yeah, I would really like to go with full row of housing. So I'm gonna make this one go away, and we're basically gonna move this one step up, like so. But I can continue with my double road here. And I would like to use then my housing here. Here. And also one of my favorite ones at this point. Because it leads to nice ornaments later on. This block. Right, and then some density blocks again here. And let's just have these people move in here. Just like with New London, we're starting this new island here as well right away. Another industrial powerhouse. I can't wait for all the beautiful terraced workers and artisans with the new assets that I've prepared. So that's gonna be another nice city coming up here. Waiting for a bit of workforce to move in now. I might even send some timber over. Let's continue with the shipbuilding. Let's continue with the ship selling.
Anyone for croquet?
The same houses catch fire again. You never know what these people are up to. And look at that, also our very first steel beams are coming in. That factory is now up and running. Producing what's going to be really important mid-game onwards, steel.
I'll throw it in the furnace.
Right in here. And I would like to finish this episode with a landmark building, our very first one. That is the church. We have prepared the place here. It's in the center.
Fire
It's
is
needed
out of
from
control.
all my people now. And we can just use it so nicely in here. And yeah, I would really like to make this one, you know, central. There you go. With a nice area around it that we can then decorate as well as we progress in this game. Just in front of my market hub. And let's build it. A nice church, increasing the happiness. Furthermore, to a happy population now, as the workers have a place to go finally. It's also beautiful to look from below. Even Santa Claus joins now. And as the day 4 is coming to an end, I think New London has grown quite nicely. We have a nice beautiful building right here. And I hope you enjoy this one. Because then we continue onwards in the next episode of New London and our Trade Republic Let's Play. Stay tuned.
That blooming turnip was the size of her head.